As the Gothic machine of might, known as the Batmobile, returns to the sanctuary of the Batcave, Batman climbs out, clutching his shoulder as blood drips from his wound. The ever-loyal Alfred Pennyworth approaches. A quiet night tonight, Master Bruce. You could say that. Is everyone else on patrol? Master Timothy is partnering on a case with Master Richard, while Master Jason has retired for the night. Good. Remind me I have Damon's parent-teacher meeting tomorrow. I have it marked on your schedule, sir, along with Miss Cassandra's recital. The Dark Knight puts a reassuring hand on Alfred's shoulder. Thanks, Alfred. Not necessary, sir. Now, you can eat while I apply the stitches, and you can brood as I clean the floor. Bruce chuckles as morning comes. Having a new record of 6 hours sleep, Bruce Wayne ventures into the Wayne Manor gym, a large room with spacious floor space, to train, lift and spar. The room's ornate windows soak the room with light as Bruce finds Dick Grayson, Nightwing, the first Robin, already training. Early start. We birds are morning people, not like certain other winged ones. Good. Then you're not too tired for a morning spar. Oh no, I'm not falling for that again. Last time I lost, I got a demerit and 3 hours on the bag. Well, perhaps you'll win this time. Grayson somersaults and lands in front of his mentor, and I thought I was the optimistic one. The pair begin their spar. As they do, Bruce ponders what his life would have been like without Dick Grayson. He too had lost his parents to crime and corruption. He could easily have lost himself to the shadows like Bruce did, but instead, he became something more. A beacon, a light in the darkness, hope that things could be better, for Bruce and for those they protected. Dick often said that Bruce saved him, but in truth, they saved each other from the dark. As Bruce pins Dick's arm and holds him fast in a lock, Dick flips out and distances himself, jumping high before throwing an overhead kick. Bruce leaps back as the two wind up for a punch, their fists meeting and striking each other. Bruce kicks Dick's arm away as he grabs and throws Dick away, only for the flying Grayson to catch himself and sweep Wayne underfoot. Hey, what do you know? I did win. Bruce smirks as he scissor kicks Dick's legs, sending him also to the ground. Always mind your surroundings. Later, having showered and dressed, Bruce finds Tim Drake, Red Robin, sleeping in the study, a corkboard packed and full to the brim with theories and fresh leads. Bruce nods his head in approval of Tim's work. Tim was the only Robin that came to Bruce willingly, knowing exactly what he wanted. Bruce did not want anyone else in the line of fire after what happened to Jason, but Tim wouldn't back down. Bruce had made certain Tim was ready for the field, and in some respects, he already was. Already a better detective than Bruce ever was. He had figured out who Batman was after all. Bruce grabs a nearby blanket and puts it over Tim as he sleeps. A little while later, Tim groggily wakes up to find himself alone in the room, the door cracked partially open. He glances over to his corkboard, only to find a note has been pinned to the center. Good work. Now follow the evidence. B. Parking his car outside Gotham Academy's entrance, Bruce enters, unsure of what to expect Damian's teacher to say. As he made his way through the heavily well-maintained hallways, his mind wandered. This would be where he had gone to school, where his father had attended. Sometimes, despite tragedy, life could be quite poetic. I do not understand why you want me here. My input is during lessons, because I'm proud of your progress. You could have told me that at home. Ah, Mr. Wayne, so good to see you again. And you, Mrs. Harvest. How have you been? Oh, well, we've been celebrating. Cliff just got promoted at work, so we've been planning a weekend trip to celebrate. Congratulations to you both. Can we get on with this? Damian. How have his studies been? Well, we're very happy with his progress. Remarkable, even. There have been discussions about moving him up a year. We'll be testing him to see how he'll fare, but we're optimistic. That's good to hear. The curriculum could be done by a 5-year-old. His behaviour, on the other hand, has been testy. Bruce momentarily glances at Damian. I thought he had improved. I have not fought anyone. Yet. Ahem, yes, he has settled. There's just a question of his sociability. Many of the other students find him off-putting? I simply glance in their direction. If they choose to be afraid, that's their problem. Is it possible, Damian, that you have trouble making friends? Oh, he has friends at different schools. And his siblings. Well, it is good that he has a network, but perhaps a more immediate network is in order. Why don't you join a club? Golf or tennis? Or the swim team? They always need new members. We'll take a closer look. If there's nothing else, you disappointed in me. I would be a hypocrite if I was. Neither of us are good at making friends, but we can both promise to try from here on out. Now then, we have an hour before Cass's recital. As they both go to step into the car, Damian looks up and signals his father that the bat signal has activated. Later still, Batman and Robin are fighting against the hired hands of the Penguin as the crooked criminal makes to fly away with his plunder. Curses! Why are you always involved in my business, Batman? Batman strikes behind him at a jumping goon as he turns to Cobblepot. You have one chance to come quietly, Cobblepot. And you have one chance to die quietly. As Penguin points his umbrella at the dynamic duo, bullets begin to project from it in quick succession. The pair dive for cover as Batman answers an incoming call. Hasn't started yet. Yes, but Miss Cassandra is not on for another 15 minutes. I would suggest haste, sir. Understood. Penguin runs out of rounds as Robin dives into action. A concealed blade pops out of the umbrella end as the Penguin thrusts the blade at Robin, but the boy wanderer fades the strike and sweeps the Penguin underfoot. Robin kicks the umbrella away from the flightless fiend. Batman then punches Penguin straight to the beak as the bird crumbles, defeathered. Batman casually hauls the Penguin onto his shoulder. Father, it will take us 12 minutes to get to the hall. Later, as Cassandra Cain begins her dance recital, those watching gaze on with attention at the graceful figure on stage, awed by her poise and skill. All except for 2 seats, noticeably vacant in the audience. As Cass dances, and unknown to all, the shadowy silhouette of the Batman watches above in the stage rafters, looking below at his adopted daughter, as Robin profusely hauls the Penguin to the GCPD. Next time, Drake can do this menial. As Cass finishes her performance, Batman must resist the urge to clap or cheer or make a sound for her, but hidden in the shadows, no one can see his smile of pride. As all performers exit for the evening, Cass calls Batman. Thank you for coming. I wasn't in the audience. I know. Did you like it? You were brilliant. I have to go now. I'll see you later tonight. Okay. Batman ends the call as he grapples from rooftop to rooftop. How many times had he tracked through this city? His home. It seemed like hell on earth to many. A cancer that only bred evil, but it had so much good within it too. People like Jim and Barbara and Leslie, good worth fighting for. Sometimes Bruce Wayne forgot that, but the city reminded him in its ways. He stops his run as he comes in contact with Red Hood, Jason Todd, watching the city below. You're late. Either you're getting slower, or there was a mugging on the way. Sure there was. The two stand silently, taking in the surroundings of Gotham, the sounds and constant ebbs of the city that had made them both drink in the sights and sounds. Jason, I know I don't always say it, but... Oh no, don't you get all emotional. It'll make me die again. But, so we're clear. I know, Bruce. Now, let's get you to the church on time, young man. Batman lands at the steps of Gotham Cathedral, the old doors creaking loudly as the shadow of the night walks into the hallowed halls. Bruce takes off his mask as he says, Am I late? Right on time, sir. I brought your, second best suit. A few minutes later, Bruce Wayne walks into the cathedral hall, joined by Alfred, the pair smiling as they see everyone already waiting. Dick, Tim, Damian, Cass, Steph, Barbara, and, sitting in the pews, Leslie Tompkins, Clark Kent, and Lois Lane. Is this everyone, Bruce? Close friends and family only. Well, I think it's perfect. I didn't think I'd live to see the day. We're proud of you, Bruce. And no backing out. All exits are covered in case it crashes. As from above, sniper in hand, Jason says, Don't worry, rubber bullets only. Bruce smiles and says, Thank you all. Now then, you will stand there, and you there. And we can begin. The wedding march begins, as into the hall walks Selina Kyle, wearing an extravagant, beautiful wedding dress. She glides into the hall, all in attendance awed by the sight. Even Bruce Wayne would be confused for a far less haunted man to see him. As she joins him at the front, the pair took each other's hands. You look beautiful. And how many crimes did you stop along the way? I didn't count. Everyone else in attendance shouts, 6. Well, dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to witness the union of Bruce Wayne and Selina Kyle in holy matrimony. We all know it has been a long time coming, and foregoing any sudden supervillain attacks, let us proceed quickly. The pair recite their vows, promising to honour and commit to one another until the end of their days. All were filled with joy at the sight, and not even Damian could muster a sardonic comment. As Dick and Cass gave the bride and groom their rings, the pair exchanged and were exalted by their pairing. I do. Then by the power vested in me, You may now kiss the bride. As the newlyweds rushed towards the waiting car, their lives began anew. Many challenges were sure to come their way, no less due to their more than ordinary lives, but they took solace in each other, that the chase of the bat and the cat had finally ended in what they both had been seeking: happiness. Enjoying the video so far? Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next video. Face front, true believers! The grimy city breathes in the midnight air. The moon hangs high over the infested city as the shadows move and the dirt rives in the jagged buildings of Gotham City, with the sounds of what life there is ringing out into the inky night. A new sound roars through the streets, a swiftly striking shadow dancing through the night. The tanking machine of the Batmobile, seeing its occupant through the night, the dark night. The Batman. It's a quiet night tonight, Alfred. I'll be home early. Excellent, sir. Dinner has just been prepared. Never mind. A silent alarm's been triggered in the financial district. Oh, very well, sir. Lobster Thermidor for the microwave it is. As Batman rides once more for justice, we turn to the underbelly of Gotham. The crime families of Gotham, once so proud and distinguished, once sitting atop the kingdom they had carved for themselves, have now been reduced and splintered by infighting, by tragedy, by pressure, and by the Batman. All that remains are the small handfuls held by such figures as Rupert Thorne, Roland Daggett, and Sophia Falcone. Fellow crime bosses of Gotham, it is my unfortunate honor to inform you all that we are dying. Our businesses are collectively failing. We no longer hold the control we once did on this city. Agreed. These days, it's all costumes and gimmicks and freaks and masks, including the Batman. Yes, which is why I have a proposition. For too long we would exist as rivals, as enemies, picking away at each other, leaving ourselves vulnerable to these lunatics. Which is why I suggest we pool our resources, work together, unite to take back this city, our kingdom, from these fools. An interesting proposition. Where would we begin? First, by delegating a leading force. We cannot abide split loyalties. And that leader would be you, Thorne. Ridiculous. My family has controlled Gotham long before any of you were a thought. If anyone here is to lead it, it should be me. You're hardly the controlling force you once were. That was your father. I hold the most land in Gotham. By rights, I shall control it. As the free resort to arguing and bitter rivalries reignite, a smoking pumpkin drops and bounces on the table in between them, before exploding and enshrouding them all in gas.
Well, it seems some children just can't play nice with each other. It's a good thing your new king is here.
And who would you be?
I am the Green Goblin, and I have come to lead you all.
As what? Another freak in a mask?
We all wear masks, Thorny, and it's time for you to match with the times. Your Goblin King will lead you back to the high standings you so crave.
And how would you do that? We return to the Batman as he surveys the crime scene of a jewelry robbery. The diamond was extracted using a glass cutter, carefully and cleanly. The silent alarm, however, was triggered, indicating someone who hadn't fully cased the scene. They're skilled, but an amateur. Security footage will reveal more. As Batman leaves to once more enter the Batmobile, he notices the sound of gunshots in the distance and a plume of smoke. You best remember your protection money next time. Yeah, this city belongs to the Goblin now. Come on, get in the car. Batman arrives on the scene. It's the freaking Bat! The three begin to shoot their firearms indiscriminately towards the Batman, who dodges and flees behind cover before throwing a score of batarangs that lodge in the thug's arms and guns. One draws a knife as he makes to attack, but Batman catches his arm, throwing him into the nearby getaway car. Clutching the wound on his arm, the third drives away as the second tries to run on foot. Batman projects his grappling line out, catching the thug on the back and sending him flying towards the Cape Crusader, who clotheslines the hoodlum, sending him to the floor. Hard. Still conscious, Batman takes the mask off of the assailant, pressing his heavy boot down on the thug's chest. Who are you working for? I ain't no squealer! I ain't telling you nothing! Yes, you will. As Batman looms over the trapped thug, we later find Oswald Cobblepot enjoying an evening drink in his luxurious penthouse. That is, until he turns to find a shadow behind him. Enjoying your freedom. It is amazing what technicalities lawyers can find, and I think you'll find my business dealings are all quite legitimate these days. I'm not here for your club. I want information. I assume you're referring to this new mover on the board. Well, I could tell you what I know, as he grabs his nearby cane. Or I could not. As a concealed blade shoots out at the end of the cane, Cobblepot makes to strike at Batman, who casually knocks the cane out of Cobblepot's hands and throws him towards the full-body window, shattering the window as he forces Cobblepot through, holding him over the side. Why don't we have a talk? Just like old times. No need for this brutish antics. I'll tell you. He's not been in Gotham long. Apparently he comes from New York, throwing his weight around like some ruffian. Perhaps you two are related. Give me a name. Goblin! He calls himself the Goblin. He's recruiting the bosses of Gotham, calling himself the new king. You can find him at the Falcone residence. He seems to have taken it over. Batman throws him back into the penthouse. Thanks. You're going to need a new window. Batman returns out into the night as Penguin nurses his now sore neck. Why do I bother staying in this wretched city? The next morning, Bruce Wayne finds himself at Wayne Enterprises, preparing his meeting with a potential collaborator, as in walks renowned businessman Norman Osborn. Mr. Osborn, welcome to Gotham. Thank you. I must say, it does have its own charm. I imagine a different one from New York. Yes and no. I can't see, however, why your family built their business here, where not everything is about business, depending on the project. Which leads us to this one. I think your R&D division, mixed with my biochemists, could really make something. I don't disagree, but perhaps we should talk application. Won't that depend on the product? Generally. But I've been looking at your previous contracts. A lot of military-grade stuff. Big movers demand big money. But this is not the military, Norman. I understand the needs of business, but any collaborations need to weigh as the needs of people, not the needs of war. War builds science. How else do you explain the movement of nuclear power? Is that how you justified the release of waste materials in the Hudson? You like to do your homework. I don't like dirty deals. This is my condition to working with your company. Why not stay in Gotham for a few days and think it over? As they exit Bruce's office, they find a young man sitting passively outside. Sit up straight, Harry. Show Mr. Wayne some respect. Not to worry. How are you, young man? Good, thanks. Harry is here touring Gotham University's campus. That is, if he gets in with his grades. One of my sons is a student at Gotham U. Why don't I give you his number? Perhaps you could ask him more about the school. That would be great. Thanks, Mr. Wayne. Not a problem. Mr. Osborn, I hope to see you again. Later that night, once more in the Batmobile, Batman drives through the streets of Gotham, joined by Red Robin. So this goblin wants a slice of Gotham by taking slices from the other bosses, extorting them for a cut of their profits, and in return offering protection. Protection from us? Send a mask to catch a mask, huh? The cartels are a breaking point. Desperate people do desperate things. So we're paying the Falcones a visit? I am. I need you to follow up on some evidence. The masks the thugs wore last night had traces of certain chemicals of them. So I need to find the distributors and their source. Cool. I get all the fun jobs. The footwork is the core of detective work, Robin. I know. As the pair split off to their own missions, we turn to the Osborns in their high-end apartment. A building which caters to only the best. But Norman Osborn does not want the best. He wants more. That brat Wayne. He thinks he can hold the keys to the kingdom. He's sitting on a gold mine with his research and development department, lording over us all, having us play his game. Reflected in the window, he looks out at his dark cover, the Goblin.
Ah! You forget, Osborn. We are the ones with the real power. Punks like that rich Wayne can grovel to us after we take what's ours.
We must be careful. We don't want it to be traced back to us.
Who cares? The only way to win is to have an edge. We don't ask to win. We take what's ours.
A cut of Gotham and New York. An empire of Osborn.
Yes! A Goblin Empire!
Harry quietly knocks before entering the room. Dad? Who are you talking to? What is it, Harry? Can you not see I'm busy? Sorry. I just thought... Don't apologize, boy. Do you have a spine or not? You're an Osborn. Never apologize for it. I have to go out. There is business I must attend to. Oh. Okay. The Falcone residence is silent as Batman enters. No guards, no noise, no attendants. You would not believe the Roman once lived here. Now it seems the Goblin has taken refuge. Batman silently stalks towards the main office, a sliver of light inching out of the slightly ajar door. He enters to see the back of the large armchair turned towards the door. Batman creeps further in, turning the chair around, only to find a dead Sophia Falcone, a pumpkin bomb strapped to her limp body. The door suddenly shuts and bolts itself as bars enclose the windows. A trap.
We finally meet Batman. More gullible than I would have thought. It almost makes me laugh at how easy it was to take this dirt-ridden city. Every organized criminal and gangster reduced to nothing by you. Oh well, a shame to end the game so quickly, but big movers demand big bangs.
As he sets the switch to blow the building, Batman quickly grabs the heavy oak desk, setting it against the wall, with himself sheltering behind it, to weather the coming storm. As the building suddenly blows, engulfing in flame and burning masses, the Goblin can only laugh at the bonfire as the Falcone residence goes up in flames. Getting to his glider, the Goblin surveys what remains, looking for Batman's broken body.
Almost a shame. That was a lovely little building, but progress demands sacrifice. Besides, it can't be that good if it blew up that easily. Just can't get good contractors these.
The Goblin is intercepted as a grappling line shoots forth from the smoke, latching onto the glider as out of the ash sprouts a tarnished but very alive Batman. He tackles the Goblin off the glider as both fall to the ground. Batman's cape aids the Bat's safe descent while the Goblin falls into the smoke. Batman looks for the Goblin through the smoke, but then a pumpkin bomb suddenly flies towards the Dark Knight. As he jumps out of the path, he gets out a batarang, making ready for a clear target. Another pumpkin bomb as the Goblin comes running out of the smoke. The Batman throws the batarang at the oncoming bomb, making it explode in midair, bursting light out to both parties, momentarily blinding them.
Cute trick, but you'll find I can do it too.
The Green Goblin throws a set of bat-shaped shuriken at Batman, who dodges the projectiles as the Goblin once more claims his glider, flying high into the air. Using the higher ground to level the scene in more bombs, Batman evades the impact of the pumpkins as he throws a bolas at the cackling Goblin. As the villain is about to throw another bomb, the rope binds around his arm, holding the pumpkin bomb in place as it detonates in the Goblin's hand, sending him back down to the ground. Regaining himself quickly, the Goblin throws another shuriken at Batman's head, but the Dark Knight catches it. Shrouded in darkness, he throws gas bombs around the scrambling Goblin.
Smoke and shadows, is that all you've got?
Batman looms out of the smoke, swiftly punching the Goblin in the face before disappearing into the smoke, appearing again to kick the Goblin in the leg before combo punching the villain. The two become locked in a wrestling lock. As the two test their strength, the Goblin proves stronger, but Batman faints as he knees the Goblin in the chin, following with an uppercut. The Goblin tries to send shocks of energy out from his gauntlet, but Batman catches his wrist, slipping the glove off the rogue's hand, knockout punching the Goblin as the smoke clears. Just as Red Robin arrives on the scene. I saw the explosions. You got him? Same height and build. He pulls off the mask. Norman Osborn. Always the captains of industry. Contact Commissioner Gordon and have an officer said to his son, the boy will need support.
Leave my son out of this!
The Goblin lets loose a flare bomb as he struggles free of Batman's grip, finding his glider once more and flying away without a trace. Later, once more in the Batcave, Osborn's holdings have been seized. Oscorp has closed ranks while they try to save their stocks. Will that mean the R&D deal is off? He wanted portions of Gotham, both industrial and underground, fill the space the cartels had left. Such a vacuum would inevitably be filled. I had considered that a factor before those supervillains and lunatics, when the mob was Gotham's biggest problem. Just got off the phone with Harry. He's taking things as well as someone can, given all this. A dreadful business, seeing one's father for a monster, and it's not over yet. Without resources, he'll be desperate, cornered. There's no telling what he'll do next. Finally, we find the Goblin in a disused and condemned warehouse.
Well, well, they want to remove all of Norman Osborn. And that is just what they get. You want to take off my mask? Well, two can play at that game, Dark Knight. And the Goblin plays for keeps.
Face front, true believers, just out of the urban map of Gotham, nestled in the remnants of an old forest, can be found stately Wayne Manor, home to the Wayne family for generations. Its walls and corridors have held many secrets across its history, none more than what lies beneath it. The cavernous space filled with beyond state-of-the-art technology, and the mementos of a long crime-fighting career. The Batcave, as its occupant and owner, sits at the sophisticated computer, engrossed in his work, before being approached by his newly wedded wife, Selena Kyle. Burning the midnight oil? I was thinking, technically we haven't had our honeymoon yet. We went to the lake house for the weekend. I don't mean a weekend. I mean you, me, sitting by a beach, drinking from coconuts with little umbrellas in them. Later, this case is at a delicate stage. Yeah, about that. As on cue, Alfred Pennyworth approaches. Your bags are fully packed and the car is waiting outside to take you to the airport, sir. What? This is kidnapping, darling. You're going on your honeymoon and you're going to like it. As she semi-forcefully begins to pull Bruce out of his chair and out of the dark cave, Wayne makes several protests. But what about Masters Dick, Jason, and Timothy are fully capable of taking care of Gotham in your stead, sir. But they will be coordinating with Miss Gordon and undertaking all currently open cases. But no more buts. You're going and that's final. Not to worry, sir. Gotham is in very capable hands. The wind whistles in the night as above the metropolitan scene of Gotham tumbles and leaps the first Robin, Nightwing, out on patrol through the night. Zaz and Professor Pig are in the wind. That's one bad combination. Oracle, I'm heading for Zaz's last known address. Let me know if there are any updates on surveillance.
Be on guard. The Arkham staff reported him to be erratic. More so than usual.
Hey, it's me you're talking to. Careful is my middle name.
Richard John Careful Grayson. Nah, doesn't seem right.
As Nightwing surveys the streets, he notices a motorcycle driving along with a rider that is all too familiar. Jason? His patrol routes are on the other side of town. What's he up to? Nightwing begins to tail the second Robin, Red Hood, who is completely focused on his mission, cruising through the Gotham streets until he reaches his location. As he does so, he spies a comic book shop, now closed for the night. And as he sees the shop, he cannot help but remember a time before he was this way, when he was just Jason Todd, when he was just Robin. Jason, have you finished your homework? In a minute. As he returns to his comic book, Bruce casually plucks it from his hands. I remember reading this when I was a kid. The Great Ghost? He's the best! Getting the bad guys serving out justice. Biff! Pow! Always saving the day. Well, duh! You kind of remind me of him a little. Really? Yeah, I mean, you're half as cool as the Grey Ghost. Half? Just you watch. Someday I'm gonna be the best hero there is. Look out, bad guys. Here comes the awesome Jason Todd. On that day, I'll be very proud. After you do your homework. Jason smiles until the memory shifts as a dark figure stands in the doorway of his room. Bruce? Who is that? The figure smiles as Jason sees it. The crowbar. No! Not you! Bruce! You see him! He's right there! Do something! Don't let him in here! Don't let him...
So you want to be a hero, kid? Well, why don't I show you what happens to heroes?
Jason is shaken from the memory as he nearly hits an oncoming truck. Swerving to avoid just in time, he parks his bike as he collects himself. Grappling onto the roof of the nearest building, he sits on the edge, taking off his hood as he lets the night breeze hit his face. His breathing slows. He relaxes, enough to realize he's not alone on the roof. Is this roof taken? I'm working a case. Beat it. Well, I'm sure you wouldn't mind if I worked the case with you. An uncomfortable silence falls, Nightwing not knowing what to say as Red Hood tries to ignore him. So, Bruce getting married. Never thought it would happen. Yeah. I mean, it's great. Bit of work-life balance, you know? Makes you want to jump back in the pool, see who's out there.
What?
I meant for him, not me. Well, rather hard to find someone with the same experiences. There's not a dating app for resurrected people, you know. Oh, maybe you could set one up? Red Hood gives Nightwing a look that promptly shuts him up. So what's the case? Delivery. Goods coming into Gotham. If I'm right, they'll be housed in that warehouse. Cool. Just running a sting until the goods come in? No. I'm expecting a delivery. Of what? None of your business. Come on, I'm just curious. Unless it's something you don't want me to know about.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, I mean, forget it! Red Hood goes to leave, but Nightwing stops him. What is it?
That's what you want to know? Oh, it's Jason. That must mean it's something bad.
What? No!
Have to walk on eggshells around Jason. Don't want him cracking again.
Well, when you mention eggs...
Yeah, go ahead. Laugh. Make a joke about it. It was nothing major. Only dying.
Will you two be quiet? As I noticed, on the roof stands the third Robin, Red Robin, staking out the warehouse with binoculars in hand. How long have you been standing on our roof? I was here first. Get your own roof.
What's going on?
I've been tailing this gang for a month. String of robberies. Mainly small stuff. Nothing too major, except tonight. They've gone confident. How many? 5. There's a shipment of firearms in there they've acquired. Whether they're stocking or selling them, that's going to be a problem.
Well, I say we pay them a visit.
The three agree as they prepare to engage. Nightwing with his screamer sticks, Red Robin with his staff, Red Hood with his handguns, with rubber bullets, grappling and crashing through the great window of the warehouse, finding 5 armed gang members waiting for them. 3 against 5 heavily armed goons. Pretty poor odds for the goons. The 3 make short work of the quarry as Nightwing sets to work with his amazing acrobatics, kicking 2 in a split kick as he combo strikes the 3rd with his sticks. Red Robin attacks with his spectacular staff, vaulting into the 4th, and Red Hood shoots the gun out of the last one's hand, grappling him to the ground as he shatters the arm, the thug regretting his life choices. Once the 5 are dealt with, the 3 begin to survey the scene. There's one guard. He's still alive. Must have been a skeleton crew tonight.
These are pretty impressive calibers. More than just to rob some banks. These are military grade.
Looks like they were the go-between, as Red Robin shows an Iceberg Lounge business card found on one of the goons. Nightwing gets closest to survey it, steal the guns, get a share of the profits from selling them to Cobblepot.
To anyone with the cash.
As Red Hood says this, he notices his package, going to retrieve a box labelled Fragile as he sets to take it. Hold up, where are you taking that?
Like I need to tell you.
Red Robin intercedes. You could just show us. Red Hood agrees as the 3 take the package to the desired location in Crime Alley, home to many desperate folks, but also a shining beacon of hope, the clinic founded by Dr. Leslie Tompkins.
Sorry I'm late with these, Doc. There was some trouble along the way.
In this city, when isn't there? Thank you. Be sure to get some water before you go.
Yes, ma'am.
Nightwing is stunned and slightly embarrassed about how he acted as he tries to form the words. Hey, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have been prying.
Don't apologize. I get it.
How often do you come here?
Whenever I can. For whatever reason. Helping here, it helps with, you know.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but Zaz has been spotted in the Bowery.
I'll drive. Hey, I'm the oldest. I get to drive.
Yeah, but you drive like an old lady.
Better than driving like you've got a death wish.
What was that?
He said you're the best resurrected guy he knows.
He means the handsomest.
Whatever, I'm driving.
Wake me when we get there.
I won't be able to. I'll be asleep too. As they approach the Batmobile, the 3 ride onwards into the night, soaring together as the brothers they are in their found family. The 3 Robins united under the shadow of the Bat. As they do, meanwhile in Wayne Manor, someone new enters. Someone far stranger than any current resident.
They never thought it possible. They said I was a fool, a madman, a bad joke. Well, now the king is in his castle, and he shall relish the seat it brings, as the Condiment King takes his lofty place.
Before Condiment King can do more, he is whacked over the head as Alfred Pennyworth stands over him with a broom in hand. It appears that rogues these days simply cannot cut the mustard. Enjoyed the video so far? Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next video. And if you like what we do here, then be sure to check out my first book, The Land of Untold Stories, now available. Link in the description. Face front, true believers. Ever since he was 8 years old, Bruce Wayne has dedicated himself, mind and body, to one thing only, the mission. Ever since crime took his family from him, his every waking hour has been dedicated to ridding Gotham of that same crime, so that no one else would suffer as he did. Yet no matter what Bruce learned, how he trained himself, and what he has seen in the pursuance of that mission, there was only one thing he never expected. Wayne never dreamed he would have a family again, that he would belong somewhere other than Gotham's rooftops. With his family back, what will he do to keep it? As the private jet soars through the air, Bruce Wayne and Selina Kyle Wayne head happily towards their honeymoon. That is, they would be if Wayne's thoughts were not back in Gotham. You're not going to brood your whole way through the trip, are you? Maybe I should call Alfred, get an update on the situation. As Wayne tries to dial, Selina plucks the phone from him before promptly putting it away. Gotham can manage without Batman for 1 week. As she sits upon his lap, I want Bruce Wayne all to myself. Bruce softens as he assents to the request, kissing his wife before it becomes Selina's turn to be concerned. I just thought, we should be there by now. Maybe I should check with the pilot. As Wayne makes for the cockpit, he finds the singular pilot. Excuse me, I just wanted to check in on our progress. We'll be there soon, Mr. Wayne, no worries. Alright, I'm just checking. The wife and I want to start celebrating, you know? You do that, sir. Things are just fine. As Wayne makes to leave, he notices a bead of sweat on the pilot's temple. As the pilot notices him noticing, suddenly rising, he makes to attack with a knife. Wayne throws the pilot through the pit door as he front kicks the assassin making to attack again, but Wayne counters and grabs the assassin's arm as he knocks out the would-be assassin. You weren't kidding when you called this a kidnapping. Wayne takes control of the plane as he sits in the pilot's seat. Can you turn us around? I can, but I won't. What? There's an input flight path in the computer. Whoever wants us will be waiting for the plane to land. Waiting for us to surprise them. Well then, as she goes to the luggage, it's a good thing I packed the essentials. What happened to having a getaway? Experience has taught me to be prepared. The plane lands on a small airstrip in a desert, surrounded by miles and miles of sand. The couple are confused as to who wanted them there as they prepare. The Gobi Desert. Whoever wanted us sure went to a lot of trouble. Someone with resources and loyal followers. Anyone we know? I have a couple of ideas. Outside, a set of assassins make to board the plane, automatic rifles in hand. They send in one first to scout the plane for the socialites, only to find no one. They escaped. You, count the parachutes. You, check the black box. As the second guard heads to the back of the plane, he is suddenly grabbed and choked out. Meanwhile, in the cockpit, the third assassin is busy at the controls, not seeing Catwoman clinging to the ceiling above, as she drops down behind him and closes the door before swiftly knocking him out. Night night. Only the first assassin is left as he holds his rifle to himself, watching the cockpit door for whoever is in there, only to not notice the gas bomb thrown into the plane as it shrouds and clouds the area. A shape is then seen through the fog as Batman knocks the gun out of the assassin's hand, knocking him to the ground as Catwoman joins him. And don't have all the fun without me. I'll soften him for you. As he raises the assassin with one hand. Time to talk. Ha! You're outnumbered, Dark Knight. Count again. You think I am alone? As into the plane suddenly swarms half a dozen more assassins, and from the window can be seen swarms of reinforcements. The pair are bound and taken to their leader as the assassins salute their great leader, Talia. Welcome, beloved. I am pleased to know your skills are as sharp as ever, as are you. As she tries to stroke his face, but Batman moves away, making Selina smirk. What do you want? I heard of your recent nuptials to this street cat. As she procures a dagger, raising Selina's chin with the point of it, and I knew I had to intervene. Aw, sorry you weren't on the guest list, darling, but we thought it was poor taste. Yes, it would have been, seeing as your marriage to him is a sham. As Talia moves back to Batman, caressing the bat symbol as she stands close to him. For you will find the bat was betrothed to me first. Well, it sounds like he changed his mind for the better option. An action not without recourse. For as you know, beloved, our betrothal must be broken first. Don't, Talia. And this urchin must prove herself to be your new bride. I don't like where this is going. She must undertake the demon trials. No. This is getting ridiculous. So you got rejected. Suck it up. Your words will fall away in time. Prepare her for the trials and have him taken to the dungeons. We will see whether she truly is your equal, beloved. The pair are separated as they are each taken to their assigned places. The four assassins guard Batman as he is taken. One has his utility belt as his hands are bound in chains behind his back. He suddenly collapses as though in pain. When two guards go to pick him up, he sweeps one as he sidekicks the second, jumping and bringing his hands to his front. As the third makes to strike, he blocks and throws him. The final one makes to strike but is blocked as Batman brings his hands behind the assassin's head, holding him down as he knees the assassin in the nose, breaking his chains in the impact. The second recovers as he tries to sneak up on Batman, only to be struck by a backhand. As Batman takes and put on his utility belt. My turn. Catwoman is thrown into a chamber as a stone wall rises behind her, locking her into the stone chamber. As above, in a viewing gallery, stands Talia. This is your trial. Survive, as the bat is yours. It's no wonder the betrothal didn't stick. Talia lets the comment slide, begrudgingly. Begin! Another stone wall falls away as it is revealed what waits for Selena. A labyrinth full of unknown dangers as Catwoman cautiously walks ahead. Next time we're doing a staycation, she cautiously checks as two corners open up to her, left or right. Eeny, meeny, miny. The ground shakes as the way she came starts to close behind her, along with both corners. Quickly she dives for the left path. Mo. She continues her path as she begins to hear more rumbling. Let me guess, the walls move. But instead she finds danger, as around another corner she finds a Siberian tiger prowling, blocking her path ahead. Hey, handsome. Don't suppose you can let me pass? The tiger suddenly pounces as Catwoman dodges just in time. You will find him quite vicious. He has not been fed in days, says the man-eater. The tiger lunges for Selena again, only just missing her as she uses her whip to ward off the threat. But the tiger is undaunted as it attacks again, swiping Catwoman in the arm as she tries to dodge again. Clutching her wound, she thinks of a plan. She uses her whip to bind the front paw of the tiger. As it lunges again, she dives underneath the animal, sending it careening onto its back as she binds the animal's paws with her whip. Shh, shh. It's all over. Impressive. May you be so fortunate in the next trials. Back to Batman. He gets to higher ground in the base as he surveys the scene. I'm out of range to contact Alfred or Oracle. My best bet is to find Selena and get us both out of here. To do that, I need to find Talia and shut this mock trial down. As he thinks this, he spots an armed assassin nearby. Isolated. Good. He uses his grappling hook to bungee down to the assassin, bringing him back to his perch. Where is Talia? The assassin says nothing. Batman notices his jawline, opening the assassin's mouth to be sure. His tongue's been cut out. He won't talk, but he could still be useful. Still clutching her wound, Catwoman approaches a set of 3 doors, all identical in their worn wood. Let me guess. One leads to the way forward, carefully choosing before she selects the middle door. Opening it, only to find darkness. She tentatively walks in, only for the door to snap shut behind her. No. You have only chosen your doom. As the floor opens, revealing a pool of acid underneath, Selena only just manages to grab a hold of the rock wall in time. Some relaxing honeymoon this is. She climbs carefully across the rock wall, finding holds for her hands and feet as she inches across, narrowly slipping and holding on as rocks give way and fall into the acid below. Finally, Selena sees the other side as she gets close enough to jump for it, leaping and rolling her way to the other side as a stone wall comes down behind her again. I hope you are not too tired. Before Selena can catch her breath, she is knocked back by a hulking force. For your next challenge awaits. Before Catwoman stands a Goliath of a figure, masked and sporting a club as big as Selena herself. Hey big guy, did your mother never teach you manners? As the giant swings the club down to Selena, she dodges in time, as with her claws, she starts to attack. I guess I'll need to teach you some. As Talia watches with malicious glee, she is approached from behind by one of her assassins. Is the prisoner secure? No, he isn't. She turns to see Batman taking off the assassin mask. It's over, Talia. Give it up. You know I cannot, beloved. As Talia unsheaths her sword, she pairs it with a small handgun as Batman prepares for the clash. Meanwhile, tired and outmatched, Catwoman evades attacks from the silent behemoth, scratching exposed areas as the giant continues to attack with his club. Talia has her sword ready as she fires her handgun at Batman, who dodges the bullets as he gets out a batarang. But as he throws it, Talia evades the projectile as she moves in with the sword. Batman blocks the sword strikes with his reinforced gauntlets, guarding against the strikes as Talia turns to shoot Batman point blank in his exposed torso. But Batman evades the shot in time as he begins to grapple with Talia, kicking the sword away as he rolls with Talia. Just like old times, beloved. Save it, Talia. Meanwhile, the batarang lands at a high wall nearby to Selena as she quickly notices, jumping over it up to where the batarang is, taking it to use in her trial. Batman and Talia recover as she reclaims her sword. Batman dodges and evades the slashes before a sudden thrust sends him off balance, forcing him to backflip and recover. Talia leaps in for the killing blow, but Batman catches the blade in between his hands, surprising Talia. Batman throws the sword aside as he lunges forward, grabbing Talia in a lock. It's over. Call them off. Not until she is dead. Meanwhile, Catwoman uses the batarang to cut the leg of the Goliath as she evades another strike, but the giant is faster than he looks as he swings his club again, hitting Selena square in the back and sending her flying. She is cornered, trapped. Her 9 lives have run out. Batman hoists Talia, holding her over the side of the gallery. Call them off now. You're bluffing. I know you won't do it. Wanna bet? I know you, beloved. You would never break your precious. He lets go, letting her drop towards the hard stone floor. But before she meets it, her descent is stopped by a grapple line. Batman hoists her back up. You were saying, I know you won't. You can't. Batman unties the grapple line. You don't know me, Talia. You never did. He holds her over the edge again. Talia finally relents. Stop! The trial is over. The giant relents as Selina breathes a sigh of relief. You are free to go, detective. But I hope she is worth your loyalty. Batman says nothing before he turns to depart. Back at the private jet, Selina watches as Bruce guides the plane. So then, back to Gotham. Actually, I was thinking Aruba to start. What? Well, if that back there was your idea of a honeymoon. No, I like this better. The two embrace as they soar off into the sunset. The Bat and the Cat, two orphans finding family at last.